between you and you. Welcome back. Close your eyes. One breath in and let it go. Whatever happened today, leave it at the door. You're here now. That's enough. I want to talk about a kind of grief nobody gives you permission to feel. Not the grief that comes with death. Not the kind that gets a funeral and a casserole and people checking in on you. The other kind. The grief that comes when something ends but nothing died. A friendship that faded. A relationship that changed shape. A version of your life that's over, even though you're still alive and technically fine. The end of an era that nobody acknowledged because nothing dramatic happened. It just stopped. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's a friendship where you used to talk every day and now you haven't spoken in months. Nobody fought. Nobody said goodbye. It just got quiet. Maybe it's the version of your relationship from the early days. The intensity, the discovery, the feeling of being seen for the first time. That turned into something more stable but less electric. Better in some ways, but you miss what it was. Maybe it's a sense of possibility you used to carry. The feeling that everything was ahead of you, that you could be anything. That's been replaced by the weight of choices already made. Maybe it's your body, the one that didn't ache, the one that felt invincible, the one you didn't have to think about. Which one are you carrying? The reason this grief is so hard is that there's no container for it. When someone dies, the world stops, at least for a moment. People acknowledge the loss. There are rituals. There's permission to fall apart. But when a friendship fades, when an era ends quietly, when the life you loved becomes the life you used to have, nobody sends flowers. Nobody says, "I'm sorry for your loss." And if you try to talk about it, people minimize it. At least they're still alive. That's just how life goes. You'll make new friends. And so you carry it alone, quietly, wondering if you're allowed to be this sad about something that isn't technically tragic. You are. Grief doesn't require a death certificate. It only requires a loss. And what you lost was real, even if it's hard to explain to someone who wasn't there. So right now, I want you to do something that might feel strange, but is actually important. I want you to name it. Internally, silently, say to yourself, "I lost something, and I'm grieving it." That's it. That might be the first time you've given yourself permission to call it what it is. And naming it doesn't make it worse. It makes it finite. It gives the feeling edges instead of letting it be this shapeless heaviness you can't explain. You don't have to get over it on any timeline. Grief doesn't have a deadline. Not the loud kind and not the quiet kind. But you also don't have to pretend it isn't there. You can hold it openly, without apology, because it mattered. And things that matter deserve to be grieved when they're gone. Take a breath. Be gentle with yourself tonight. You just honored something that nobody else saw. That matters. Thanks for going there.